Hello, fourth grade friends. Today for math, you're going to need your math notebook, glue stick pencil, the copies of this worksheet, and this worksheet. This one you don't have to glue in. We're going to turn this one in class and or upload a photo to Google Classroom. So go ahead and pause the video while you gather those, and then your math book also. All right, well, to get started, we're going to correct our homework from yesterday. So go ahead and open your math book up to page 825 first and then 826. And we're going to look over our problem numbers that we had to do. All right. So we had to do number 1 and 2 up top. The best way to describe them, it said be as specific as possible, was these are perpendicular lines. And these are intersecting lines, okay? Intersecting. You know it's perpendicular because it makes that 90-degree right angle. These are just intersecting because they cross, not like parallel lines where they're never gonna touch. Then you had to do number 4. Name in any line. You had to name 3 of them. So you could have done EL or LE like they did. AB or BA. You could have done CD or DC. You might have also done FG or GF. Then it wanted you to name one pair, so 2 lines, naming 2 lines that are parallel. You could have said line CD and line FG, or you could have flipped them to and done like GF or NDC. But you want to make sure you get that line symbol above, like we talked about, or writing line. Okay, those are the only 2 parallel lines that I see, because this one and this one would eventually touch, because remember they keep going on forever, so it couldn't be LE and FG. Okay, then number 6, 2 lines that are perpendicular. This one had a few, so you might have said line CD or DC, and then AB or BA. You could have also said AB, line AB, and then line FG or line GF. Both of those make right angles. And then 2 lines that are intersecting. This one had only 1 pair you could have done. You should have done line EL or LE, and then line CD or line DC. Right, because they're intersecting. The other ones don't actually cross yet, or they are parallel or perpendicular. Then on the back, you had number 15 on the very bottom. The best way to describe this would be intersecting lines. They might have gotten you with point A, but is it only point A? Nope, they're intersecting lines. So although that's a good answer, this one is better, and we want to go for the better answer. All right, awesome. Okay, so now let's jump into math for today. So we're going to talk about what is a polygon. And it's okay if you don't know. But by the end of today, for sure, I bet even by the end of the song that we're going to listen to, you'll be able to tell me what is a polygon and what is not a polygon. So we're going to start by watching this video together. Right.
Tri is a prefix, that means 3. Triangles have 3 sides like a sail on the sea. Quad, a prefix, that means 4. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides like a door. Penta is a prefix that means 5. Pentagons have 5 sides like a school zone walk sign. Hexa, a prefix that means 6. Hexagons have 6 sides like a bolt we twist.
Tri means 3 and quad means 4. Penta means 5 and hexa means 6.
Hepta is a prefix that means 7. Heptagons have 7 sides like Orion in the heavens. Octa is a prefix that means 8. Octagons have 8 sides like a stop sign shape. Nona is a prefix that means 9. Nonagons have 9 sides like a Y on a road sign. Deca, a prefix that means 10. Decagons have 10 sides like a starfish in the ocean.
Hepta means 7. penta means 5, and hexa means 6. Hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10. Tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, and hexa means 6. Hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10. What shape is this?
Triangle.
What shape is this?
Quadrilateral.
What shape is this?
Pentagon.
What shape is this?
Hexagon.
What shape is this?
Heptagon.
What shape is this?
Octagon.
What shape is this?
Nonagon.
What shape is this?
Decagon.
Tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, and hexa means 6. Hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10. Tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, and hexa means 6. Hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10.
Two last things before we go. A polygon has to have straight sides, you know, and a polygon has to be a close shape. The vertices and sides can't have any breaks. So is this a polygon? No. But is this a polygon?
Yeah.
I just like that video.
Visit numberrock.com for
Good reminders on different parts of polygons. All right, so now let's get this worksheet out. We're going to fill this in together. So let's think through. In the video, it had a lot of good examples, and at the very end, it told us 2 things that we need to really remember. I have 2 more things I want us to keep in mind. Okay? So the first one that it said was that polygons can have no curves, right? They need straight edges, no curves. And then the other thing that it said was it has to be a closed shape. You can't have any opening parts. Okay? So some other things that I want us to remember. Our polygons have to be 2D, which means like flat, just a drawing, shapes. Nothing 3D like a cube or a sphere or a cone. It has to be flat shapes. Okay? So no curves. It has to be closed. And they're 2D flat shapes. The last thing I want you to know is that the lines cannot cross when you're making the shape. The actual parts cannot cross. They can connect, but they can't fully cross each other. So let's think through some examples and some non-examples, and we're going to draw them together underneath where it belongs. So you might want to do like a squiggle line here to separate them out. All right, so some examples of polygons might be like the suns from the sun. Okay, as best as you can, trying to get it closed, and it was a little off. Might have something that looks like this too. You can have it with 3 sides. Could you have anything with 2 sides? Let's just do a quick sketch up here. What do you think if it just has 2 sides? No, that doesn't work. That's a not example because it is open, right? It has to be closed. Another one we can say is not an example is a circle, right? Because it's curved. It can't have any curves. And one more not an example is if we drew a shape that looks like this one. Why is this one not a polygon? This one's not a polygon because they cross, right? But if I draw one that looks like this, now I'm trying to do this on a computer, so don't laugh too hard at my amazing shapes I'm drawing. Imagine that these are all touching like they're supposed to be to make it a polygon. Why does this star over here work, but this one doesn't? This one has no curves, it's a closed shape, it's flat, and the lines don't actually cross. Whereas this one, they're connecting. You can see those different points inside, how they're touching each other. Good. All right, so now let's think back to the song and think through all of these words. And we're going to think through the vertices, the sides, and the shapes. We're actually going to do this a little backwards, and we're going to start by drawing the shape. So let's draw a triangle. How many sides does it have? Remember, sides are those straight edges. So it has 3 sides. How many vertices? Do you remember what vertices are? They're those points. So how many points does a triangle have? It has 3 vertices. All right, let's think about a quadrangle or a quadrilateral, like it said in the song. I'm going to draw one that everybody knows. Just a square. That is an example. There's a lot of quadrangles, okay? Quadrilaterals we could do. How many sides does a quadrilateral have? You're right, it has 4. And how many vertices? 4 also. Great. Let's draw a pentagon first. I'm going to draw like the bottom part of a square. And then we're going to come up and give it like a pointed hat. You want to make sure that these connect. How many sides does a pentagon have? 5. How many vertices? Yeah, 5. Awesome, we are almost halfway through. Let's look at hexagon. We're going to start on the top part. We're going to draw one of our sides going across. We're going to draw another one coming down and coming down. Then they're going to come in from it and draw one connecting across. So how many sides does a hexagon have then? It has 6 and 6 vertices. Now, mathematicians, we always look for patterns. Do you notice any patterns or anything going on so far? I notice that the number of vertices matches the number of sides. Ooh, and then as we go through our shapes, as we go to a new name, they also go up by 1. So using that pattern, I can infer that a heptagon should have 7 vertices and 7 sides. Let's draw a heptagon next. Now these get a little tricky, so bear with Mrs. Wells. All right, so we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, what do you think about an octagon? How many vertices and sides would an octagon have? That would have 8. 8 vertices and 8 sides. Let's draw what that would look like. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to go straight down first. 4, 5. And now we're going to start coming in. 6. Draw another one coming in. 7. And then 1 to connect them on the bottom. Oh, that one needs to be a little better. 8. Oh, goodness. All right, pretend those connect. 8. Awesome, we got 2 more to go. What about a nonagon? 9 vertices, which means it needs 9 sides. All right, let's see how we're going to draw this one. All right, so we're going to want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, then our last one, a decagon, should have 10. And we talked about, have you ever heard deca or dec in the beginning of another kind of word? A lot of us thought of like a decade. Do you know how many years are in a decade? Decades have 10 years and decagons have 10 sides and 10 vertices. So deca, we can infer then, means 10. Look at that, using language arts in math. It's crazy town up in here. All right, so let's draw our decagon. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, my mathematicians, take a look through those shapes we drew. What do you notice kind of happens as we go up from? We started a triangle, and we go down towards our decagon. Overall, what kind of happens to the shapes? Do you notice how they kind of start to almost like curve out? As we add more sides, it gets closer and closer to a circle. So let's imagine we had a shape with 14 sides. What do you think that shape would almost look like? It would look even more like a circle than our decagon does. Yeah, it would get closer and closer. The more you add, the smaller they get, and the rounder it starts to become because we're adding in more sides. Craziness. All right, my fourth grade friends. The last thing you have to do for me today is do this sheet. Okay, write in your name, my friends. We're going to turn these in when you come back. Write your name up top. You're going to use the definition of a polygon. They got it right on here for you, to decide if these 6 shapes are polygons or not. It has some clues for you to think through each time. Okay, if you think it works, you're going to give it just a little check mark. Okay, and if it doesn't work, just leave it alone. Then you're going to circle, yes, it's a polygon, or no, it's not a polygon. Let me know if you have any questions, and I can't wait to see your work. Take care.